In this video, we're going to be using some of this rope and some of this stuff. And I know what you're thinking. Even though this is a dirty video, I'm not going to be tying Mrs. Summerhouse up and sniffing some amyl nitrate. Oh no. In the last video, I showed you how I clean my stove out and clean the chimney, ready for the winter. But there was also a maintenance issue with the stove where the gaskets had gone on the door, so we're going to need to change that using this stove rope and this stove rope glue. Let's get into it. It's time to do the stove maintenance. I've got to clean the chimney out, but we're not seeing that in this video. What we're dealing with is this door. This door's got to come off because the rope gasket on the other side has gone. This is the problem here. So this is the rope gasket. Goes all around the door. And it's gone in this corner. It's been on its way for the last couple of winters, really. But it's time to change it. It's not dangerous or anything. Carbon monoxide meter always registers 3 zeros. So it's not putting any nastiness into the room. But it just means that the stove isn't running quite as efficiently as it should be doing. It's just taking in a little bit more air than it should be. But it's no big deal, but it does need addressing. The door on this stove is held on by these 2 pins going through each one of the hinges. The door should just lift off. I've tried it and it does do that. So I'm going to take that off, take it outside and get to work on it. So took the door off. There it is. And as I say, it was only held on to these 2 pins here. So I'm leaving them in there so I don't lose them. I took the rope out. There's the old rope. Okay. And that just fits in this groove, and as you can see there's some of the old glues left over, so I'm going to clean that out. And to do that I'm going to go through first with the screwdriver just into the slot and just try and get that glue out. So that's what I'm going to do first, and then I'm going to go round with this wire brush in the groove and just clean it all up. We've had to move into the shed because it started raining out there. Just move these gloves out of the way. So we've cleaned out the grooves. That's come up lovely. That got rid of all the traces of the old glue. Got it out with the screwdriver and then gave it a nice wire brushing just to clean it all up. And then I went over the whole door just to give it a bit of a clean up, getting the exposing these screws again that hold the glass in. That gasket's okay. I'm not going to touch that. Glass is not cracked. So now we're doing a test fit of the rope. You just feed it into the grooves as you go along. And what I'm trying to do is get round to the bottom bit just to get us our full correct length of gasket, because obviously descended enough. I might have enough to do it twice here if I had to. So once we get round here, I'm going to cut it and then we'll apply the glue. We'll just take a closer look at the stove rope that I bought. I believe it's made of fiberglass. I went for the softer version, so I didn't have any issues with not being able to close the stove door once I'd installed it. It's really nice stuff. It's a bit of a mystery trying to figure out what size you need, but I just measured the width of the groove that the rope goes in, and it came to 10 millimeters, and that's worked great for me. So we've got our rope all in the groove now. That's our test fit. Come all the way around, just cut it off so it's all the right length now, it's the right size. We can take it back out and put the glue into the groove. We've put all the glue into the groove and I'm just going to give it 10 minutes to go off a little bit, just to get a little bit of tackiness, and then I'm going to put the rope in the groove and let it all settle and give it a good 24 hours to cure. But first I'm going to have a little break and just let that glue get a bit of tackiness about it. So far, no good. We'll just take a look at the seal adhesive here. It's the Victus Fire Rope Seal Adhesive. It's got up to 1000 degrees Celsius. Hopefully we're never going to see that type of temperature. This is a 30 milliliter bottle and it's more than enough. It's more than you actually need, which is good. In case you mess it up and you've got to do it again. Everything I'd seen on the internet said once you've put this in the groove and put your rope in, give it 24 hours to go off and cure before you put the stove door back on and fire up your stove. But not so. According to the instructions on the side of this bottle, the 15 minutes the adhesive will have started to go off. You can put the door back on, fire up your stove, and the heat from your stove will help it cure. Right, I've put the rope back into the groove now on top of the glue. The glue gone nice and tacky. It goes off quite quick, this glue, actually. So let's have a look. I'm quite pleased with it. I think I've done quite a neat job. So as you can see, I've pushed it all right down into the glue that's in the groove. Really nice, neat job. All the way around. And where they meet, I trimmed it off with a Stanley knife. And following some advice, I've put some glue over where they meet just to keep it all bonded together. And where your join is, you want that at the bottom of your door. I've got this door upside down on this table at the moment. That's the top and that's the bottom. So you always want your join at the bottom. I read the instructions. The glue for the stove rope gasket goes off after 15 minutes. They say that you can hang your door, use the stove, because the heat of the stove will finish curing the glue. So hence the door's back on. And the gasket's a nice snug fit. I just had to adjust the door latch a little bit because obviously now the door's a lot tighter with the new gasket on, and it wouldn't close on the setting it was on, so just opened it up a little bit. And now it's making a really nice tight seal. So that went quite well. The stove's all ready for the winter now. It wasn't as bad a job as I thought, and if you can have a go at it yourself, I highly recommend it. I think the whole kit to repair the stove gasket, including the rope, the glue, cost me about 14 quid off eBay. It will alter depending on the size of rope you need. Feel great. See you next time.